Hello and welcome to this free Canva graphic design course. In this course, we will start by looking at the basics of Canva, including how to get started with Canva and an overview of the dashboard. Then we will do some projects. We will start by doing a logo design project. Then we will do a poster design project, followed by a YouTube thumbnail project. And finally, we will do a blog title image project. So I hope that you enjoy this free mini course, and let's get straight into it. Now we are going to take a look at the Canva dashboard. Once you are logged in, this is the page you will see. I like to call it your personal dashboard. The dashboard has a range of sections, menus, and different buttons, and we will try to have a look at them all. So let's start from the top. At the top here we have 4 different buttons. Starting with home, of course, this button just takes you back home to your dashboard. Next we have templates. By hovering over this button, you will see all of the different templates split into different categories. So for example, if you want to find a template for a newsletter, you need to head over to marketing and then go down to newsletter. Next we have features. Here we have things like photos, icons, printable products, apps, and then some extras as well. So the stock photos are split into different categories, and then the icons are split into different categories, and then the printable products, for example, business cards, postcards, invitations, and so on, are all accessible from here as well. And then we have apps, which are apps you can connect to your Canva account. And then finally, you can explore additional features, which include graphs, charts, and also photo editing. The last item on the menu is called Learn. Here you can find different learning resources which are available on Canva. So we have getting started with Canva, designing, social media marketing, graphic design basics, branding your business, and then some more things as well. So there's design school courses, tutorials, and then their blog as well. So this is a great section to help you find learning resources that will teach you how to use Canva more efficiently. If you are using the free version of Canva, you may also see another menu item called Pricing, which will basically take you to the pricing page, which is available for you if you want to upgrade to Canva Pro. But because I already have Canva Pro, I do not see the pricing page here. Then further over to the right, we have some more buttons. We have a question mark, which will take you to the Help Center, a little settings icon, which will take you to your account settings, a Create a Design button, which is another way for you to start creating a design on Canva. And then last but not least, you have your logo, which will take you to some more account settings. Next, let's take a look at the left of your screen. Over here we have even more menu items. First we have Recommended for You. This is your main dashboard page, which you can use to search for your own designs or templates or anything else within Canva. And then below that you have some design types. So first you have Recommended Designs. So these are mainly designs which are frequently used on your account, so they will recommend them to you because they think you might want to create more of these types of designs. And then after that, you have different design types split into categories. So social media with things like Instagram posts and so on. Events, marketing, documents, prints, video, school, personal, and so on. And then below that, you have your own designs, which are sorted by most recently accessed. And then we have easy to access templates for all different design types from here on. So we have templates for Instagram posts, Facebook posts, logos, posters, animated posts, Facebook covers, documents, YouTube thumbnails, Instagram stories, and so many more. On the next page, you have all your designs. Here you can see all of the designs you have created in Canva. Once again, these are sorted by most recently accessed. So the design that you have edited or opened most recently will appear at the top. Next, we have Brand Kit. It is important to note that this is only available if you have Canva Pro, but using the Brand Kit, you can upload your logo, your color palette, you can select your main brand fonts so they are easy to access within your designs, and then you can also upload more fonts if they are not already available within Canva. The next item on the menu is Content Planner. Once again, this is only available within Canva Pro, but this is an amazing tool which allows you to plan and schedule content to your social media profiles. Next, we have Create a Team. On this page, you can invite team members to edit and access your designs within Canva. This is great if you run a business and you have a graphic design or social media team. So using this feature, your design team can all access your designs within Canva, so they can make edits and so on. So this is absolutely perfect for businesses. Next, we have a page called All Your Folders. Here you can view or create folders within Canva. This allows you to sort and organize all of your designs. And then finally, we have Trash. If you delete any of your designs within Canva, this is where they'll go. Here you can view the designs that you have deleted from your Canva account, and then you can either restore them or permanently delete them. So that is pretty much everything within your Canva dashboard. Now I'm going to show you how to find design inspiration. First, I'm going to be showing you a great website called Design Inspiration, which you can use to find other people's designs, which can give you a boost of inspiration. So here we have the website. All you need to do is simply make a search. So if I search for logo, we can see loads of different logo designs. So these can give you inspiration if you are trying to design a logo of your own. So if you just scroll through these designs, it will give you ideas and inspiration for your own logo designs. So let's make a couple more searches just to show how amazing this website is. So this time I will search for poster. And here you will see inspiration for loads of poster designs. So if you need to design a poster, these will inspire you to design your own poster. And for this final search, I will search for business card. So now we can look at design inspiration for business cards. There are absolutely tons of business card designs here, so you will definitely find inspiration using the Design Inspiration website. Next, I will show you some of the designs that I have created using Canva. So let's go to Canva, and I'll go to My Designs. And now let's have a look at some designs I have created using Canva. So here we have some thumbnails I have created using Canva. It's quite a nice, simple design, but it works quite well. Using my brand colors, an image to represent what the video will be covering, and then of course a title as well. It's very simple, but also looks great and is enticing to click onto. Next, we can have a look at a book cover for the Ultimate SEO Guide, which I designed using Canva as well. So that is just here. And as you can see, it's quite a simple book cover, but it looks great. It's easy to understand. You know what it's going to be about. And I created it completely with Canva. It didn't really take very long, and it's also very appealing to look at. So I hope that looking at some designs I have created with Canva has inspired you as well. If it has, go to the Canva website and start designing right now, because having inspiration is one of the most important things when it comes to graphic design. Now I will show you how to export your designs from Canva. The first thing that I'm going to do is open a design that we want to export. So I'm going to open this one right here. And then we simply want to export the file. So because this is going to be used as a thumbnail, we are going to export this design as a PNG. So first you need to look at the page number for your design. So mine's page 1, I will keep that in mind. And then you want to head over to the download button on the top right. And then select the file type that you want to download your design as. So I am going to select PNG, but there are also many other options, including JPG, PDF standard, PDF print, MP4 video, and also GIF. So I'll select PNG. So if you have the Pro Canva plan, you can download your design with a transparent background. This is great for logos. So if you want to do that, tick this first option here, but I do not want to. And then the second option allows you to compress your file, which will make it take up less storage, but it will also export at a lower quality. So we are not going to do that. And then simply select the page for the design you are downloading. Like I said earlier, we are downloading the design from page 1. Then click Done. And then all you need to do from here is click Download. Now what you want to do is name your file and also choose where you're going to save your file to. And once you're happy with your file name and also the location that you are downloading your design to, simply click Save. And you have now successfully exported your design from Canva. So let's open it. And this is the design that we have exported. So that's it. That is how you export your designs from Canva. The first design skill that we're going to look at is typography. So we'll be creating text, customizing text, using different text layouts, and so on. So let's dive straight into it. First of all, I'm going to create a completely blank file, which we can use to test different design skills with. So I'm going to click Create a Design up here, and then I'm going to go to Custom Dimensions, and then I'm going to put in 1920 by 1080. There we go. And of course we want it to be in pixels, and then I'll click Create New Design. So because we're going to be looking at typography, we want to create some text. So in order to do that, I will click onto the Text tab down here. And as you can see, we have many different options for adding text. So we can add some basic text, a heading, subheading, or body text. Or we can look below this and we can add a font combination. So these are text layouts that have been pre-made for us. So there are tons to choose from. But to start with, we are going to be adding a basic heading. Then I'm just going to write some random text. And what I'm going to do is show you how you can customize this text. So first of all, you can change the font by selecting the text and then clicking on the font up here. And then you can select any font that you want to use. As you can see, it is as easy as that. Simply select a font and it will update on your design. Next, we will customize the text size. So you want to click onto this number up here and you can select any text size that you want to use. Or alternatively, you can type in your text size in the box up here. So if I want to type in 1, it's not really visible, but as you can see, the text down here is 1 pixel, but I'll change that to 50. And now it is much more visible. In order to change the color of your text, you want to click onto this icon up here, and then you can select any color. So we have new color up here, where you can choose any color from a color palette. Document colors. So these are colors which are already in your design. Below that, I have my own brand colors from my brand kit. You may not have this as it is only available in pro accounts. And then finally, underneath that, we have a set of default colors. So let's have a look at this green right here. There we go. Next, we have some more simple text customization options. So by clicking this B up here, you can make it bold. By clicking this I here, you can make your text italic. And then by clicking on this U up here, you can underline your text. After that, you can make all of your text uppercase or lowercase by clicking on these A's just here. Next, we have the text alignment settings. So simply click here until you have the alignment that you want to use. So right now my text is aligned to the right. After that, you can put your text into a list. So we have a bullet point list. And then if you click it again, you can have a numbered list, but I don't want my text to be in a list, so I'll click it one more time and the list is gone. And then we have text spacing. So first we can adjust the letter spacing. I'll leave it at 200. And then if we have multiple lines of text, I'll just make it so that we do. We can also change the line height as well, as you can see. And then you can also anchor the text box by using these 3 options here. So that is the basics of typography within Canva. I will just show you how these font combinations work. So let's say this one here, for example, select it. And then you simply need to click onto the text that you want to edit. So for example, I'll click onto the text at the bottom. And then just like before, you can change the font, the colors, make it italic, underline it, change the text size, and so on. And then to change the actual text, which is in the font combination, simply select it and write something different. If a word doesn't fit in and you need more space, simply make the box bigger like so, and then you can put the text wherever you want it to be. So that is basic typography within Canva. Now let's look at how we can create shadows in Canva. First of all, I'm going to show you how to add shadows to your text in Canva. So I'm going to remove all of the text that we have here already. So I'll delete this element and this one as well. And then I'm going to go to text on the left. And now I'm going to add some completely new text. And I'm just going to put some random text in here. And what I'm going to do now is change the color of this text. So I'll make it blue. And now we will add a shadow to this particular text element. So I'll click onto the text and then I'll right click it and copy. And now I'm going to right click into the blank space and click paste. Now I'm going to change the color of this second text layer. I'll try this dark color over here. And I'm also going to decrease the transparency. I'll try about 50. Now what I am going to do is move this text element and put it just behind the original, but it needs to be showing a little bit. So I'll use the arrow keys in order to be more precise. I think this looks good about here. And now I need to position the second text element backward. And there we go, we now have a nice shadow on our text. So now I recommend grouping your text layers. So select them both and then click group up here. And now you can easily move your text around as it is in one group with your two text layers, creating a nice shadow effect. So that is how you add shadow to text in Canva. Now I will show you how to add a shadow to an image in Canva. So I'll just move this text out of the way first of all, and then I'll go to photos, and we are going to get a photo and bring it into our design. Let's try this one just here. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Here is okay. And once again, we're going to do it pretty much the same way as the text. So I'm going to right click it and click copy. And then I'm going to paste it in again. And now what we're going to do with this second image is click onto adjust up here. And I'm going to bring the brightness up. I'll try about 20. I'm going to bring the blur up. Let's say about 40. And I'm also going to bring the contrast up a bit as well. I'll put that as 20 as well. There we go. I'm going to close this panel on the left so that we have more space. And now once again, I'm going to put this image over the top of the original. And I'm going to use the arrow keys to precisely put it over it. And we want a little bit of space like so. So now once again, we're going to click onto the second image and go to position and then backward. And then as you can see, we have a nice shadow behind our image. Now, once again, we can actually group the elements. So to do that, we need to select both of the elements and then click group up here. So now we can easily move around our image that has a nice shadow effect. So as you can see, the nice shadow behind the image just here. Now, in order to choose where you have the shadow reflecting, all you need to do is move the second image. So I'll give you a quick example. If I click onto this image and ungroup them, I now want to select only one of the images. So I'll select this one here and I'll place the image here. And now what we are going to do is select the second image, the one that we use for creating the shadow. And I'm just going to move it over here. And what I want to do is put the shadow on the top left of the original image. So we simply need to move the background image to the top left, just like so. So now, as you can see, the shadow is at the top left. I do recommend grouping them whenever you create a shadow effect so that you can move them around easily. And there you go. It is as easy as that. So that is how you create shadow effects on images and text elements within a Canva design. Now we are going to do text masking in Canva. Now this is an awesome skill to have because it allows you to create some pretty amazing designs. So let's get straight into it. First of all, I'm going to delete what I have here already. And now I'm going to open the Elements tab on the left over here. And then from the Elements tab, I want to click onto Frames down here. Now I'm going to scroll down until I find the Letters and Numbers frames. Here we go. So we have all of the letters here, and then we have the numbers down here as well. So I'm going to add some of these letters to my design. I'll just do ABC. And then I will line them up. So I'll go A, and then B, and then C. And I might as well center them as well. So now we are going to find an image that we want to add. So from here, I'll click onto Photos on the left, and we want to find a nice photo that we can use. So I'm going to type in skyline. This one down here is quite nice. So what we're going to do is simply drag this photo into each of these elements. So A, B, and then C. And there we go. That is the first part done. Now I'm going to close this panel. And one at a time, I'm going to double click onto each of these letters. I'll start with A, and I'm going to slide the image over so that the left side of the image is masked onto the A. And then I'll hit enter. Now I'll double click onto the B, and we want the center of the image. And it seems to be already pretty much the center. So I'm going to click enter straight away because I'm already happy with it. And now I'll double click onto the C. And we want it to be the right of the image. And then I'll hit enter. And there we go. So we have successfully masked our 3 letters. The image is also laid out nicely across the 3 letters because of how we just positioned it. So that is how you mask text using Canva. Now there is actually another pretty awesome thing that we can do using this technique. So what I'm going to do now is click onto videos down here. And rather than masking an image onto this text, I'm actually going to mask a video. So I'll go for this one just here. And I will drag it into each of these elements. And once again, if you double click onto one of the letters, you can align it to be where you want it to be. So I'll put that one as the left side. And I'll put this one as pretty much the left of the center. And for the C, I'll put it all the way to the right. There we go. So now to make this look even cooler, I'm going to add a background to this design. And I think I'll use this background image just here, the white brick wall. And I'm also going to slightly adjust this background image. I'm going to add a slight blur. And I'm also going to decrease the brightness. So now to see how the design looks with the video masked into the text elements, I'm going to click this play button up here. And as you can see, it looks rather cool indeed. So that is how you mask videos and images onto text elements in Canva. I am now going to show you how to use image filters and effects in Canva. First of all, I'm going to delete everything that I have in my project here. And then what I'm going to do is simply add an image to this project. So I'm just going to add the very first image that is here. And I will start by showing you some image effects. So I'll collapse this menu on the left over here. And you want to select your image and then click onto effects at the top just here. Now you will see all of the different effects that are available for you to apply to your image. So I'll just briefly scroll through them so you can see what there are. As you can see, there are rows and rows and rows of different effects. So at the top we have duotone, which pretty much changes the color of your image. And then as you scroll down, you can see some more effects as well. I recommend just trying them out to see which ones you are going to like. And as well as having these pre-made effects that you can just apply to your image, you can also customize the effects. So now that I have this one selected, if I click onto this little icon here, I have all of these different options to customize this particular effect. So I'll just make some random changes. And as you can see, every single change that I make on the left also changes the image over here. So these are the image effects on Canva. Now we will take a look at the image filters. So just like we clicked effects up here, instead we are now going to click onto filter. And as you can see, we have all of these different filter options. So to have a look at these filters, I'm going to add a new photo. And I will delete this other one. And let's just try out some of these different filters. So we have summer. You can once again customize each filter, just like you could with the effects. Let's have a look at solar. That's quite a nice one. Edge. That's an interesting one. And finally, I will have a look at drama. There we go. So you can have a look at these filters in your own time and find the one that you like the most. They're all quite cool. It just depends on your style really and what you are designing. I must say that grayscale looks really, really cool with this particular image. So there we go. That's how you can use image filters and effects in Canva. Now I'm going to show you how to use text effects in Canva. First of all, I'm going to delete the image that I have in my project. And now what I'm going to do is add some text to the project. I'm just going to write some random words. And now what I'm going to do is collapse this panel on the left so that we have some space. And let's add some effects to our text. So once you have selected your text element, all you need to do is click effects at the top just here. And then you will see all of the different effects that are available to you. So we have shadow, lift, hollow, splice, echo, glitch, neon, and finally we have curve. As well as having these text effects available for you to use, you can also customize them. So for example, if I click onto splice, I can customize the thickness, the offset, the direction, and finally I can also customize the color. I must say I've made a pretty cool effect right here. This does look pretty cool indeed. So there we go, that is how you use effects in Canva. It is a really awesome feature that is available, and I highly recommend trying out these text effects for yourself. I'm going to show you how you can copy the style from one element and paste it onto another. So let's get straight into it. This handy feature will save you a lot of time and make it so that you can create designs much faster. So I'm going to delete this image here, and I'm also going to delete this image in the background, and then I'm going to delete a load of these text elements as well. So now we just have one solo text element, and what I'm going to do is remove this effect from the text, and I'm going to change the style of this particular piece of text. So I'll make it blue, and then I will also change the font, and then I'll make it bold, italic, and I will also underline it. So now let's deselect this text, and I'm going to add in a new text element, and I'll move it below it. So now I will show you how you can copy the style which is on this text here, straight onto this text down here, so that I don't have to go around and add each of these different things to this particular piece of text. So in order to do this, you want to click onto the element that you want to copy the style from, and then you want to click onto this little paint roller up here. And now you will have the paint roller as your cursor, and you want to click onto the element that you want to paste the style onto. So I want to paste it onto this text down here, so I'll just click onto this element. And there we go. We have successfully pasted the style from this element up here onto this one down here. So that is how you can copy and paste element styles in Canva. Now I am going to show you how you can share access to your projects within your Canva account. First of all, I'm going to open a project that I want to share the access to. So for this example, I will open this project right here. And then in order to share access to this project, I want to click share at the top just here. And from here we have two different options. We can either type the email address for the person that we want to share access to in this box up here, or we can create a link that they can click onto, which will give them access to the project. So down here we can create a link, and with this link we have three different options. We can make it so that the link gives them access to edit the project, or gives them access to use the project as a template, or finally we can only give them access to view the design. Of course, the one you select depends on who you are sharing the project to and what you actually want them to do with it. So this bit is up to you. So that is how you share access to one of your projects on your Canva account. Now I'm going to show you how you can view your designs that you have created in Canva as a mockup using SmartMockups. So first of all, you want to open a design that you want to view as a mockup. So in this example, I might as well just open this one right here. And in order to view this design as a mockup using SmartMockups, you just need to click on the button at the bottom that says More. And then in this search bar, you need to type in SmartMockups. And as you can see, the app has already shown up. So you want to click onto the SmartMockups app. And from here, you want to click the Connect button. Now, if you don't yet have an account with SmartMockups, you should create one. And once you have done so, you want to log in and then click Connect just here. Now, as you can see, it says that we currently have no mockups in SmartMockups. Mockups that you create in SmartMockups will appear here. Now, in order to do that, we need to publish this design to the SmartMockups app. So click these three dots up here and then type in Smart and click onto SmartMockups. And then what you need to do is click Save. So now that we have done that, you want to click View in SmartMockups. And you will now be able to see the design that you created in Canva on each of these mockups on the SmartMockups website. So as you can see, there are tons of different types of mockups. And we even have face masks at the bottom down here. I think I'm just going to select a t-shirt. I'll click onto this one here. And there you go. So you can now see your design that you created in Canva as a mockup on a t-shirt. Now you don't have to select a t-shirt, of course. You can select a smartphone, desktop, or you can mock your design up as a print or packaging, apparel, home and living products, including mugs, pillows, candles, and so on, and so many more. So then once you have created your mockup, you can customize it from within the SmartMockups website, and you can also crop it, save it to your SmartMockups account, and finally you can download it to use it wherever you want to. As well as that, if you now go back to your design in Canva, and then click onto More at the bottom, and go to the SmartMockups app, you can now see your mockup that you have created, and also add it to your designs. So that is how you can create a mockup of a design you have created in Canva, simply using SmartMockups. Now let's move on to the projects. The first project that we are going to create in Canva is a logo. The first thing you need to do is create a new logo project. So we are going to go to logo, click on it, and then create our logo. So we have a client brief for the logo that we are going to be designing. The brand name for the logo that we are designing is Bookwatcher. So we are going to be designing a logo for a book company. So first we are going to pick out a relevant template. And then once we have chosen a template, we are going to design the logo from scratch using some ideas from the template. So let's scroll through these templates to find one which will be relevant for our logo. A badge logo could look good, so we will keep those ones in mind. An education logo could also look good, so we may come back to those. And now we've gone through all of the different categories, so we can now see all of the logo templates. We simply need to find one that will stand out. Here we go. I think this one here looks quite nice. So let's click onto this. So we have an icon to the left, the brand name in the center, and a tagline just below it. So we will create a new page, delete the background, and then we are going to design a logo for Bookwatcher with this template in mind. So we have the font, the layout, and we also need to remember that there is an icon to the left. We don't need to use that specific icon. I'm already thinking that a book icon would look a lot better. So what we need to do first is the background. So we will close these templates by clicking this little button here to hide them. And then we are going to go to background. And then we can select a color or an image for our background. Of course, as this is for a logo, we do not want to select an image. So we're going to look at the colors up here at the top. And we want to find one that will look nice. So we could go for a dark color or a light color. It is completely up to you. I think this blue here looks quite nice. So here we go, we have our background already. So now that we have a background, we want to add the text. So we are going to go over here and click onto text, and then go to add a heading, and then type in our brand name. So the brand we are creating a logo for is Bookwatcher, and I'm not sure on the color for the text just yet, but we definitely don't want black. So we're going to get rid of that and make it white. However, we can change it later on. So now we will add the tagline. So we'll go to text again and add a subheading. And the tagline is Forever Reading Books. And I'll select it and move it to below the logo. Here is all right for now. And we'll also change the color to white for this as well, just so that it all fits in together. So we can still change the colors and the fonts later on, but we will leave it like this for now. The next thing that we will do is add the icon to our design. If we go back to the template, as you can see, there's an icon to the left of the main logo text. So I think we are going to add a book icon. So to add an icon to your design, go to Elements, and then simply search for the icon that you want to use. So I am going to search for book, and then I'll hit enter. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I quite like this one down here. So I will click onto this, and I'll make this one white as well. And then I'll make it a bit smaller. This looks good. And I'll center it. And I'll put it just here. And it doesn't really fit in very well. So what we're going to do is resize everything, make it all a bit bigger, make sure it is centered into the design, like so. And then we can move it over to the left a little more. That's good. Okay, so here we go. This is what we have created so far. I think that realistically what we need to do now is change the font, because these two fonts don't really suit each other at all. So we will select the main logo text and then click onto the current font, which will allow us to pick any font that we want to use instead. There are loads and loads of different font options. You just need to find the one which will look best for your brand. I personally like to go through them until I find the one which I think will look good for my particular project. Usually when you find a good one, it will stick out and you will instantly know that it is the one you want. So just keep going through them until you find the perfect font. I quite like this one, to be honest. It is called Anonymous Pro, but I think that it might look better bold. So let's make it bold by clicking on the B icon up here. That's great. I think that that looks really good. So now we need to choose a font for the tagline. I think that it will look good with the same font. I just won't make this one bold. So I will select the font here and we can make the text a bit smaller so that it fits in better. Next to the font, we can edit the text size. So I will change the text size to 18, but I think that it still needs to be a bit smaller. So let's try 16 now. And there we go. That looks absolutely fantastic. So now what you need to do is reposition it until it looks good. So I'm going to move it to the left, like so. Just make sure that it is lined up properly. I quite like this, to be honest, but I want it to be the same width as the main text. So I'm going to select it again, and then I'll click onto spacing up here. And then I am going to slightly increase the letter spacing. There we go, that could be good. So then we'll realign it. So there we go, the text is sorted. Now we're going to move the icon a bit more. Just make sure that it's centered. Move it all in together. I think it should go up a little bit more. There we go, that looks nice. And then select everything and make it a bit bigger and make sure that it's centered once again. And here we go, I think this looks great now. So we have a few different elements. We have the main text, and then we have the subheading or the tagline. And then on the left of the design, we have the book icon. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. So once you have finished designing your logo, the last thing you need to do is export it. So you want to go to download at the top right, select the page that you want to export. And then if you have a Pro Canva account, you have a few more options. First, you can change the size of your design. The second option allows you to export your design with a transparent background. Bear in mind that this only works if you export as a PNG. And the third and final option allows you to compress the file, which lowers the quality, but it also makes it take up less storage space. However, I'm going to leave it as it is. And then finally, I'll click download. And then choose where you want to download your file to. And then name your file. I am going to leave it as it is. And then click save. And there we go, we have now successfully exported our logo design. So let's click onto this to open it. So this is what we have just created. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. So now you should know how to design and download a logo within Canva. Now for our second project, we are going to design a poster in Canva. So of course, the very first step is exactly the same no matter what we will be designing. We simply need to create a project. So we need to look for a poster project type. So you can either search for poster in the search box at the top, or alternatively, you could click on marketing in this little menu here, and then go over to poster. And we'll click onto poster to begin the process of creating our poster. So on the left, we have all of the different poster templates. And then over on the right, we have our blank canvas, which is where we'll be creating our design. The very first thing you can do is name your design by clicking on this box at the top just here, and then typing in whatever you want to name your design, although it is not necessary. Once you've named your design, you just want to pick out a template. So we'll go through them now and see which ones look good. So we have many different categories: back to business, events, advertising, school, photos, quotes, and so on. I think we'll have a look at the advertising category. So I'll click view all and see what we have here. I quite like this one here. This is quite a nice style. But we can also see what else there is. We do not have to pick the very first one we find. This one here is quite nice as well. And also this one. So there are many different great templates available. This one's very nice as well. I think this may be the one that we are going to use. So if you want to, you can simply edit a template. This is quite simple. You just need to click onto any of the elements within your design, and then you can simply change the text by selecting it and typing in whatever you want to type. Or you could change the background image by going to photos on the left just here. and then hovering over a new photo and putting it over the background. So it's very easy to customize a ready-made template, but what we are going to do is create a design similar to this from scratch. So I'm going to add a new page down here, and then I'm going to add an image for the background. I think I'll just use this one here of the mountains. We don't need to spend too much time picking out a background because of course we can just change it later. So now I'll add a slight blur to this image. So I'll click onto the image and then I'll click adjust. And then we have many different adjustment options and I'm simply going to turn blur up to about 10. There we go. So we have now got a slight blur on this image. I'm just going to close this menu on the left for now so it's not in our way. And now let's go back to the original design to see what we need to add next. I'll add a white bar to the bottom. So I'll go to elements and then shapes. And then I'll add this square and move it down to the bottom. It doesn't need to be this tall. And then we can make it a bit wider as well so that it goes all the way from the left to the right of the design. And then of course we also need to make it white. Fantastic, so that was really easy. We now have the bottom bar like this one just here already added to the bottom of our design. Next, what we need to do is add the main text. So I'm going to go to text on the left. So then from here, we can either add some simple text by clicking onto one of these three options at the top, or we could drag in a font combination. And in this design, we are going to use a font combination. So we will just scroll through them to see which ones look good. We ideally need one that will look good in a poster. This one just here looks great, so I'm going to drag it in. And at the moment, all of this text is aligned to the left and we want it aligned to the center. So I'm going to click on it and then click the alignment button until it's all centered. So we have the main text done. And then we need to center this text down here. And I'm actually not going to center this last bit of text down here because instead I'm going to delete it. So I've clicked on it. And all I need to do is click delete. Now we just need to center the text in the design. So that's centered, but I think it should also be a bit lower. About here, I think looks good. Maybe a bit higher actually. Just about here, I think looks great. So the next text that we need to add is the black text that will go over this white banner down here. So I'll scroll this back to the top and then I'll click add a subheading. And then we're going to move it down here. And then also make it black so we can actually see it. I think it can be a bit bigger as well. So about 28. And then I'm going to change the font. It can still be a bit bigger, I think, maybe 32. And then we can also make it bold as well so that it stands out. So now I'll close this and get it out of the way. And I'll center this text in the white box. Perfect. And now before I edit any of this text, what I'm going to do is change the background so that we can actually read the text which is on top of it. So I'm going to go back to photos. And then in these categories at the top just here, I'm just going to click the one over here called computer. And then I'm just going to drag one of these in. So one of the darker images will look better because the text is of course white. So let's see what we can find. I think this image here could look good, so I'll drag it in. Yeah, that looks absolutely perfect. So now what we need to do is start editing all of this text so that it actually says what we want it to say. So if I hide this tab so we can view it in full screen again, I'll scroll back to the top and see what it says in the template. So they have put Welton Online Education presents basic web development classes. Sign up before May 2020 to get 20% discount. Reserve your slot now at, and then the website address. So I think the first thing I would do is change the font of this text up here. So instead of classic, I'm going to put it as light, and I'm going to make it bold as well. And then I'm also going to make the text a little bit bigger. I think that looks great. So now I'm going to change it so that it says Black Brick Training at the top. I think now the text at the top looks great, so I'll move on to this main heading text in the middle. And this poster is going to be a promotional poster for our SEO Masterclass. So where it says graphic design, I'm going to change it to say search engine optimization. And as you can see, this is a little bit too big, so I'm going to have to make this text a bit smaller. I think maybe 180 will be good. That's still a bit too big, so I'll make it 160. Perfect. So I'll center this again. I think just here looks good. And then this bottom text element is bugging out a bit, so what I'm going to do is ungroup it from the rest of the text. And then I'm going to move it back up. To just here. And then I'll select all of the text again and regroup it so that it is a grouped element, so it can all be moved at once together. And then I'm simply going to change this text at the bottom to say Masterclass. And there we go. I think that looks absolutely brilliant. All we need to do now is edit this text at the bottom. So before I edit the text, I'm actually going to make it so that it is not bold. Before I thought it would look good bold, but now I'm starting to think different. So luckily, because it is so easy to edit within Canva, it takes no time at all to switch the text between being bold and just being normal. So we'll leave it as it is now. And then I'm simply going to type purchase the course today. And then on the second line, I'm going to put the website address. So I'll do that now. And then I think I'll make the text a bit bigger again and then center it once more. And rather than having a full stop, I'm going to change it to say at. So now it says purchase the course today at blackbricktraining.co.uk. And there we go. We have now finished designing our poster. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So if we compare it to the template, I actually think that my design looks better. So what I'm going to do is delete the page with the template on it. And now we just have my design. I'm going to rename the project to poster project. And then I'm also going to download the design. So I'll click this little download button here. And then we want to select the file type. So we can either select PNG, JPG, PDF standard or PDF print. We do not want it to be an MP4 or a GIF because of course it's a static design, not a video. I'm just going to select PDF print because of course that is what you will want to select if you are going to be printing your poster. And then if you want to, you can turn on crop marks and bleed, but I'm not going to in this example. And then all you need to do is click download. Simply choose where you want to download your design to, and you can also rename your file. And then once you're happy, click save. And here we are, this is what we have created. Now let's move on to the third project. In this project, we are going to design a YouTube thumbnail. First of all, we need to choose which video we are designing a thumbnail for. So as you can see here, I am on my YouTube dashboard. And the video that I want to design a new thumbnail for is this one down here, called the best WordPress SEO plugins. So I'll just click onto this video. And as you can see, this is the video that we want to design a new thumbnail for. So let's open up Canva and begin the process. So what I am going to do first is go to the Canva dashboard and I'm going to type in YouTube. And then what I'm going to do is click onto the option called YouTube thumbnail. So here we go. From here, we can either start from scratch and create a blank file, or we can have a head start and use a ready-made template that will look brilliant for our design. Now, I think what I'm going to do is use a template because it saves time and the templates have some awesome designs which are already laid out. So what we need to do is just scroll through these templates until we find one that will fit our particular video. So you can do this as well. You need to find a template which is relevant for your YouTube video and will also stand out on YouTube so that people want to click onto it. So let's have a look what we have here. There are many different options for you to choose from. I actually really like this one here, so I might actually use this. But I'll keep scrolling just for a second to see if I can find a better one. I do also like this one and this one down here. I like all of them, to be honest, but I think actually this one here is going to be perfect. So let's select this template. And here we are, the project has been created and the template has already been added in for us. So the first thing I'm going to do is give myself a little more space by closing this panel on the left by clicking this little button here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is change the background image for this design. So what I need to do is open Photos, and I need to find a relevant photo for my video. So we are creating a thumbnail for the video titled The Best WordPress SEO Plugins. So we can make a few different searches to find the perfect background image, but first I'm going to search for SEO. And then I'm just going to have a look at a few of these different images. Ideally, we do not want one with text, so let's just keep scrolling until we can find the perfect one. This one down here could look quite nice, so I will drag it in. That actually looks really cool. What I could do is change the colors so that it's not pink. So I'll click onto the image and then I'll go to Effects. And then I'm going to go to Duotone. And let's click onto this blue one. I don't think that that looks very good actually, so I'm going to choose a different one. I think this light blue peppermint could be good. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. So now we have the background image already created. The next thing I'm going to do is remove the logo, which is the default logo in this thumbnail, and I'm going to add my brand's logo instead. So what I'm going to do is go to Uploads, and then Upload Media, Upload from Device, and then I'm simply going to select my logo, which is this one right here. And now I'm going to let it upload, and then simply drag it into the file and make it much smaller. And then I'm going to remove the default one, which is already here, and then put mine in its place. I might just make it a little smaller. 80 by 80 sounds good. And there we go. So we have now put our own logo into the thumbnail design. I'm actually going to try this with another style of my logo as well. So I'm going to go back to Upload, and then I'm going to click onto this one here, because this one has a slightly different style to it. And I think it might look a little bit better than this one. So let's see, I'll make this smaller. That's exactly the same size. I'll delete this one and I'll put this one in its place. And yeah, I think the design of this logo looks a lot nicer than the one we just used. So this is the one that I will be using. Now what I'm going to do is edit the text. So first of all, I'm going to edit the main text and simply replace it with the title of my video. To keep it simple, I'm just going to copy and paste it. There we go, that's absolutely fantastic. And then at the top here where it says, "Let's talk money," I'm simply going to replace it with WordPress tips. So this could be a new little series we do on the channel, and it will be called WordPress Tips. So within the WordPress Tips series, we have a video titled The Best WordPress SEO Plugins. I think that this looks absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to edit this text slightly. So I'm going to select it. And then what I'm going to do is increase the letter spacing slightly. I think that is better. And then I'm also going to have a look at different fonts, but I might not necessarily change it. I'm just going to see what it looks like in a different font. Now this new font has made it a bit too big, so I'm going to make the text slightly smaller. And I think I'm also going to have to decrease the letter spacing a little bit, just because I increased it a bit too much in the first place. There we go. Now I think that that looks a lot better than it did before. So I'm also going to change the main text font as well. So I'm going to click onto it and then go to fonts, and I'm going to go to this one over here. And I think that this looks good. I'm just going to make the text a little bit smaller. So instead of 76, it's going to be 72. There we go, that fits in. Although I think it would look better if SEO and plugins actually fit into the same sentence. So I'm just going to make the text a little bit smaller once more. I'll try 68. There we go, that's perfect. Now what else can I do to improve this thumbnail? I think I know what could do it. So what I'm going to do is move all of this text down. I think it should be a little bit higher than this, just not all the way to the top corner like it was before. How's that? There we go. I think that that looks much better. And then I have a couple more ideas on how I can improve this thumbnail. First of all, I'm going to click onto the text, and then I'm going to see if it looks better when it's not bold text. Yep, I think that that looks a lot better. And then I'm also going to change the color of this element behind the text as well, because I don't think that the green really fits this thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is make it the same color as my logo down here, which is my brand blue just here. And I think that looks much better. So then I'm also going to do the same thing with the next green over here. And then also the last one here. So I think that this looks much, much better, although something still isn't quite right. So I'm going to click onto the main background image once more. And what I'm going to do is click onto effects again. And I think that the original effect I selected isn't quite right. So I'm just going to select a different one to replace it. So first, I think I'll try cherry. That is quite cool. I like the red, but I think it's a bit too dark. I don't like that one. That one's quite nice, but it's not quite right. Let's see what we have here. I think that this one's a little bit too bright, and so is that one. So let's see what else we have. This one fits in quite nicely, but we can see what else there is available. I don't like this one. Let's see what else there is. No. The mono one is quite cool, but I think it might be a bit too dark. This one's quite good, dusk. In fact, I think that that might be the one we go for. So here we go. This is the thumbnail that we have created using Canva. I think that it looks absolutely fantastic. Although one thing I'm going to do is select all of this and make it all a bit bigger. I think I'll make it quite a bit bigger, to be honest. I'll go all the way up to 700 wide. There we go. And then I'll move it up a little bit more. In fact, I'll move it back up to where it originally was. I think it didn't really fit the top left corner when the text was smaller, but now that the text is a lot bigger, it fits in the corner quite nicely. And then the final thing that we need to do is retitle this project. So what I'm going to do is copy this text here and simply paste it in as the title. So there we go. We have now successfully created a YouTube video thumbnail using Canva. All you need to do now is download your file and then upload it to your YouTube video so that it is live on YouTube. Now this design project is perfect for bloggers. In this project, we are going to design a blog title image. So let's dive straight into it. First of all, you want to go to Canva, and on the homepage, I'm simply going to type in blog. Here we can now see many different options, but we want to select the first one called blog banner. Now we can either select a relevant template. There are many different options, or we could choose to start the project from scratch. I think that first of all, I'm just going to have a look at a few of the different templates to see what options we have. So I'm just going to scroll through these and see what we can find. I quite like these ones, this one here and this one here, but with some text over the top, I think would look a bit better. But we can keep looking. I think that this one here is great if you can make it look relevant for your blog post. I don't think I'll be able to, so I don't think I will select that one right now. This one over here has quite a nice style as well. But I think that this is the one that I'm going to select. As soon as I saw it, it stood out to me and I think that it will be perfect. So I'm going to select this template and it will now create my new Canva project. And the template has already been added to the project. So now what we need to do is choose a new background image, customize the colors and the font, and we also need to enter our blog title text rather than the default text which is already here. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is change the font. So I will select the text and then I will go up here and click onto the font. And then we want to choose the font which is best for us. So I'll have a look at a few different ones first of all. I quite like this one, but of course it means the text is too big. So we're also going to make the text a little bit smaller. There we go, that fits perfectly. And then I'm also going to change the font for the bottom text down here as well. And I think that this one here will be perfect. Fantastic. So we have now successfully chosen the fonts which we will use in this blog title image. I think that now I'm just going to change the color of the block behind the text right here. So I will select it and then go to color up here. And then I'm going to find my brand colors down here. And I'm going to select the one that I think looks best. And in this case, I think that the blue looks best. So I will select the blue there. And then I'm going to select the outline as well. And I think I'm going to make that my other brand color, the darker color. And that fits in quite nicely. So now this is what we have. We have successfully edited the font and the colors as well. So now what I'm going to do is add the text for my blog post. And then once I've done that, I will find a suitable image for the background. Now the title of my blog post is Learn How to Build a WordPress Website in a Day. So I think on the title over here, I'm going to put something a little bit shorter than that so that it fits in nicely. And then below here, I'll put Become a WordPress Expert or something similar to that. So first, I'm going to select the main title text and I'm going to enter the text I want to have in place of what's already here. So as you can see, it does not fit in very well at all. So I'm going to make the text box a bit wider. And then I'm also going to make the text a bit smaller. That nearly fits in, but still not quite. So what I'm going to do is make this block behind it a bit bigger. And then I'll center the text in the block again. And then we can make the text box wider so that it fits nicely. And unfortunately, it still doesn't quite fit in as we would want it to. So what I'm going to do is make the text a bit wider once more. And I'll make sure it's centered again. And now I think I'm just going to have to make it a bit smaller just so that it fits in. There we go. So that now fits in very well. I'm also going to replace the word site for website just because I think it will look a bit better. Yep, that is much better. And then down here where we have the smaller text, I'm going to put the whole blog title because it will all fit in there nicely. So I'm going to type in, learn how to build a WordPress website in a day. That looks absolutely fantastic. So now all I need to do to finish this blog title image is to change the background image. So to do that, I'm going to go to Photos and then Search. And I'm going to search for WordPress. Some of these could be good. This one here could be decent. That is pretty good, but I don't think it quite fits in. So I'll keep looking. I'll try this one here. That doesn't look great either. I think that this one here looks absolutely perfect, but there are a few changes that I think I can make now that I have chosen this background image. So first of all, I'm going to select this block behind the text and I'm going to make it slightly transparent. I think about 60 will be good. And then I think I'm going to select the block and also the text on top of it. And I'm simply now going to nudge it all slightly to the left. I think about here will be good. So how does this look now? I think it looks good. Although I think what I should do is edit this text down here, the small text. And what I'm going to do is go to spacing and increase the letter spacing slightly. I think that's good. And then I think I will also increase the transparency on this block just here. I think 60 is a little too low, so I'll change it and put it up to about 75. So now I think that that looks absolutely fantastic. So there we go, we have successfully designed a nice looking blog title graphic using Canva. If you are still here at the end, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also, if you want to watch the entire Canva graphic design masterclass, you can purchase it by clicking on the link in the description. Once again, thanks and goodbye.